Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Well, good morning. Nick Collier again, and we've got a little job here. It's, I don't know, mid-July. We're just starting into a major heat wave. It's about 80 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning here in Nevada City, California. And it's supposed to be like a burner today, 110 up here in the mountains, which is unheard of. And there's no global warming, trust me. So we got this little project that came in yesterday afternoon. The guy's screaming, he's, well, not screaming, but, you know, moaning. Well, I got to get it done now. It's got to be done now. And I'm like, okay, I can do it. Don't worry. So we're up early in the morning. We're going to do it possibly by 10 o'clock later this morning, and have it ready for him and get it in the mail. So follow along. We're going to have some fun. All right, so he sends me this this file on email, and it's not exactly an engineered drawing, but I get the general gist of where he's going. Let's see what we got. There's our little bracket that needs to be drilled. This is all going to be in steel. By the way, we're going to work with 12L14 because they want a nice finish, and you know, of course, 12L13, nice finish. No tearing, no ripping, no nothing. So we've got 2 inches and 7/1000ths, so a little over 2 inches long. What's the width? We have, okay, keep going, Nick. This is the other part. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, we've got 413 thousandths thick, and that's where we're going to start. I know, you're thinking, well, you got to make this little rectangular strap. What the hell are you working with round stock for? Well, the guy called yesterday, right? Friday afternoon. It's now Saturday morning. I don't think McMaster is going to be able to deliver today, so we're just using what we got. All right, there's the beginning. Now we're going to take it over on the lathe and square up these surfaces, just because we can, and we'll be back. Well, we got ourselves a new chuck for the clausing lathe, and here's the first time I use it. And of course, the first time I use it, I need to reverse the jaws, which is always a pain in the ass, but, you know, hey, it is what it is, right? So let's reverse the jaws. All right, we got our piece in. We're ready to rock and roll. Let's turn this just a little bit. All right, let's get started. All right, we've got a little bit of a holiday right there, but we're not going to be using that part. We're going to cut it off here. So I'm happy with that. You know what? We're going to do it anyhow because it may have a problem on the other side. Okay, that takes care of it. Flip it around. And I'd say that looks pretty good. We're not going to worry about how thick it is yet because we can take it off of the tabs. Okay, so we've got our little disc clamped down with these two clamps, and we're going to cut right across the center of that. There's our first piece, or our first cut off. And our second. Wants to go right about there. Not much to grab onto, but just enough. All right, well, it moved a little bit, but you know, it's pretty close. And we're going to take all of the slack up on the mill. So let's go over to them. Oh, we got to cut two of these. That's right. I forgot. Okay. Let's do a second one. Well, we might be able to get a second one out of that. Had we split it right down the center, we could have. But let's just give it a try and see what we come up with. Because it only wants to be 2 inches. And there's 2 inches right there. That might just be enough room. So let's go ahead and cut the next part. Geez, I don't think we can. So we'll just mill off the rest of that. All right, we got her chucked up. We're going to see if we can get that second part. Okay, there's our height. Let's bring this out. So we got to go a little bit deeper. Plenty of room. We've got the two little nibs that come down about halfway in that will we don't have to take this measurement all the way out to the end. So let's do this. Square up this end. And there's 2 inches right there, well, 2 and a little bit. So we'll stop at that point. And flip this upside down. Okay, so we've got our beginning. Let's see what the measurement is. What are we looking at here? Need my cheater glasses as usual. So we are looking at 350, 360, 372, 371 and a half. And we want to go to 366. So we got to do another 5 thousandths. I don't know, can we get 5 out of that? So we're going to do 4, and let's do 3. And we'll be able to take 1 thousandths off the top and the bottom surface. All right, let's see what happened. We're probably sitting up on top of a chip or something, because it started right about there. Okay, there's 20. There's 371 and a half, and there's 369. Okay, I'm guessing there's some kind of chip in there somewhere. First thing we do is hit it with the brush, and then come in with the towel. And that should take care of it. Oops, which side has got the burr? Okay, now we gotta go another 2,000ths. All right, let's see what we come up with. $69 still, and 69. At least we're even now. Okay, so I think I'm gonna just leave it there. We will come back at a later date and take that 3,000ths off and bring this to a higher polish than that. Okay, so now we're going to bring this in. And since it's a little high, I'm going to come back, maybe, let's come back 30,000ths. Pretty clean. No burrs. Let's clean up the edge. Okay, so we've flipped it. We're down solid. Yep. And we've got 30,000ths to go, so let's take it in 20, let's say 25. Okay, let's just knock off the ends of both of these. And are we still within our 2-inch limit? Yep, we're 2 inches 100,000ths, and we need to be 2 inches 7,000ths. All right, well, the next step in this little micro disaster is to cut this part of it away. And I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a line just above the top of the vise here. And what we need to end up with is 2 millimeters this way, up and down, and 2 millimeters on the back side. So we've got this thing marked out pretty well. And, you know, my parallel wasn't tall enough to allow 2 millimeters, so I had to get a feeler gauge and slide it in between there. And I think we're all set up to go. All we need to do now is cut 2 of them. So let's get busy. Okay, there's not much holding this in. I mean, it is good and solid, but if it had too much pulling on it, so I'm going to take probably 20 thousandths at a time, and we will get started. Let me, I'm going to mark the top of this so I can see it better. Okay, and 2 millimeters is 78 thousandths, which is that big there, not much. Just scribe a line, just so I don't go too far. And put my cheater glasses on, make sure that we're where we want to be when we are. Okay, that's good. All right, we're sitting at 98 and we need to go to 78. So we got 20 thousandths more to go. We're going to take it in 10 thousandths cuts. And as we do that, we're going to work our way back too. All right, we're getting close here. We're sitting at 95 there. Let's see if we can just come out. And 85 there. So if we take this down or up, so 95 would be 85 would be 10, so 15, 17 thousandths, and that should get us where we want to go. And we're going to do a climb cut for this last cut. Fingers crossed. All right, as far as I can tell, let's see what we got. $79, I can live with that. 80, I think I can live with 80. So now we got to come in and cut out our tabs, and I think we should do that while we're sitting here. Because we're all set up to do it. And okay, so we've got our slot cut, or our, I'm not sure what to call it. So now what we have to do is find halfway, and we can find that fairly easily by dividing it in half, and this is 2 inches. So 1 inch. Scribe it. Scribe it. I want to put a little bit of a scribe on the top here. Just to mark it. Come in here and see what we've got. Yeah, that didn't exactly mark it. There's about halfway. Okay, so now we want to come in. We want to go all the way to what we think is halfway. And then we come in and just run the bit up against it until it just barely touches. And you probably can't see it from there, but it put a little mark on it, and so we're just a little bit that side of the line. So all we have to do is come back, hang our bit up against the edge again. We come in and we've brought our bit just up, just so it barely touches the place where we think it's center. And in fact, it was off just a little bit. So we just move over and we touch again until we've hit at least close to center, because this is 625 and our hole, or our slot, needs to be 670. So I've got about 50 thousandths to play with. So we're gonna just, we've got it pretty well centered. We're gonna plunge in and then cut that slot, and then come back and measure our tongs and adjust our cut to fit the correct measurement. Okay. All right, we've got that. Now what we want to do is we're going to end up with this little bracket right there. So we can just take measurements off of that, since we already did that. So our inside measurement is 650.